Mark Lohr's journey from building companies that achieved massive exits, including a $500 million acquisition by Amazon and a 3B acquisition by Walmart, to tackling one of humanity's most fundamental challenges, food delivery, begins with the mindset of a builder who refuses to settle for good enough. After witnessing how traditional retail companies struggled to adapt to digital behavior, Mark saw firsthand how speed, convenience, and transparency were no longer luxuries, but basic human expectations. When he met Tony Florence, the visionary investor who had backed transformative ventures across consumer and tech landscapes, the conversation quickly escalated to a shared realization. The world's food system wasn't just broken at the edges. It was inefficient, expensive, unhealthy, and unsustainably designed for modern life. Together, they began tracing the roots of why grocery logistics lagged behind almost every other digital transformation. They found that the experience from farm to fridge was full of outdated assumptions, manual bottlenecks, waste-heavy processes, and poor customer alignment. Mark believed the same innovation energy that had reshaped e-commerce could radically reshape how food is produced, stored, delivered, and consumed, if only someone approached the challenge with the courage of a startup, but the scale thinking of a global operation. This story is the unfolding of that mission, driven by the belief that fixing food delivery can change quality of life for millions. As Mark and Tony examine the core issues, they recognize that grocery customers often live with frustrations that they assume are unavoidable. Products missing or substituted with lower quality alternatives, delivery windows that feel unpredictable, unclear freshness standards, and the silent cost of food waste embedded into every purchase. Mark compared this broken experience to early e-commerce before Amazon introduced reliability, tracking, and customer obsession. Just as he had done with Jetcom, challenging the dominant retail norms, he began obsessing over the math behind food logistics. Why do groceries cost so much when digital systems should reduce overhead? Why does food spoil before it is consumed when technology could predict demand more precisely? Why do cities continue to rely on legacy distribution models built decades ago? Tony, drawing on years of backing successful founders, encouraged Mark to build a system where data, automation, and efficiency drive every decision. They mapped out a future in which grocery delivery isn't a luxury service but a smart ecosystem where customers get exactly what they want, when they want it, and at the quality they expect. This wasn't just about convenience. It was about redesigning an industry using principles Mark had mastered over decades. Their plan involved rethinking delivery at an architectural level. Mark believed that the key was eliminating unnecessary layers between the origin of food and the consumer's doorstep. He envisioned micro-fulfillment centers powered by advanced robotics, data-driven stocking algorithms that reduce waste, and a distribution model engineered for precision rather than approximation. Instead of the typical grocery stores repurposed for delivery, stores that were never optimized for online picking, Mark wanted dedicated environments that worked like high-performance engines, each component serving a single purpose: fast, accurate, cost-efficient delivery. Tony, who had watched countless founders scale from small ideas to national brands, pushed the team to imagine not just operational efficiency, but emotional resonance. Food isn't just a commodity. It's family, memory, culture, and comfort. If they could combine tech-driven perfection with human-centered experience, they could create a brand that people trust not just for groceries, but for the rhythm of everyday life. Their venture became a fusion of logistics mastery and emotional intelligence. As the concept evolved, they studied the failures of past food delivery startups, companies that burned cash without solving the structural inefficiencies underneath, services that delivered speed but not freshness, and apps that promised convenience while hiding higher fees. Mark realized that the world didn't need another delivery app. It needed a new infrastructure that made food both affordable and reliable. The problem wasn't customer demand. It was outdated supply chain physics. So they began designing technology that could forecast neighborhood trends, adjust inventory with machine learning, and route deliveries with near-surgical accuracy. Imagine a system that knows when families order breakfast items, when offices surge in snack demand, and when communities shift dietary patterns. This predictive capability became the backbone of their strategy. Combined with Tony's investment wisdom, they structured the company not as a typical startup racing toward profitability, but as a mission-driven ecosystem anchored in sustainability, waste reduction, cost transparency, and exceptional customer experience. Beyond logistics, Mark and Tony turned their attention to economic inclusivity. Many families, especially in urban centers, experience food deserts, where healthy options are either inaccessible or overpriced. Mark, remembering his own upbringing and the importance of affordability, set a goal to create a system where high-quality, fresh food could reach every zip code, not just affluent neighborhoods. He wanted technology to level the playing field, not widen it. Tony emphasized that true disruption happens when ordinary people's daily lives improve in measurable ways. Lower grocery bills, fewer spoiled products, more reliable deliveries, and healthier choices. So they built pricing models that minimized hidden markups and optimized operations to reduce unnecessary costs. Their philosophy was simple but radical. If technology can make e-commerce fast and cheap, why can't it do the same for food, the most essential product in every home? As they scaled their approach, Mark returned to lessons learned from Amazon and Walmart. He remembered how Amazon had set customer expectations with relentless precision and how Walmart had mastered operational scale. Combining these two worlds, he aimed to create a delivery system that achieved both the speed and reliability of Amazon and the mass-market affordability of Walmart. But instead of applying old strategies to a new industry, he wanted to build fresh methods tailored to the unique physics of food, temperature sensitivity, perishability, real-time demand fluctuation, and geographic distribution. Using robotics, AI prediction models, and streamlined storage systems, they developed a model that could serve millions without sacrificing quality. Tony helped cultivate partnerships, recruit top engineering talent, and secure long-term investors who understood that this mission was not about short-term wins, but about redefining an industry billions depend on. Momentum grew as customers began to understand the difference. Groceries arriving exactly as ordered, produced fresher than store shelves, and pricing that felt fair rather than inflated. Behind the scenes, the team continued refining their algorithms, improving packaging sustainability and optimizing energy usage. As more cities joined the service, data insights became increasingly powerful, enabling better predictions, better delivery timing, and better cost control. The founders realized they weren't just fixing food delivery. They were building a new operating system for how society interacts with food. From farmers to suppliers to consumers, every stakeholder benefited from increased efficiency. And as the company matured, they began exploring how this model could expand internationally, adapting to different cultures, diets, and distribution challenges. The mission gained a global perspective: use technology to feed the world more intelligently. In the end, the story of Mark Lohr and Tony Florence is not just about two business leaders building another startup. It is the culmination of decades of experience, lessons learned, and ambitions sharpened by successes and failures. It is the belief that large problems, like the broken food system, can be solved only when innovation, empathy, and scale work together. Their vision goes far beyond the convenience of fast delivery. It aims to create a world where food is fresher, prices are fairer, waste is drastically reduced, and families can trust that what arrives at their door is exactly what they expect. With every step, Mark and Tony are pushing toward a future where technology elevates life rather than complicates it, where food delivery becomes an elegant system instead of a chaotic patchwork, and where millions of people experience the simple but transformative joy of good food delivered right.